center of racing, Earnhardt has captured the Pepsi 400.
It'll be car number 3. Earnhardt has done it again.
Dale was probably at the top of his game right then. You know, Earnhardt had a lot of wins. They led a lot of laps. They got a lot of bonus points. And we didn't do a lot of those things. But we were consistent. You know, we led the points for the majority of the season.
Look at this confrontation for the lead. Down to the inside. Mark Martin wants those 5 points for leading. Remember, he's won only 1 race this year, whereas Earnhardt has won 5.
I think we knew that he was Earnhardt and he was going to win a lot of races, and we were just the guys that were still wet behind the ears. But if we could stay close and we could maintain, we thought maybe he'd mess up somewhere down the line. We'd ultimately win a championship because of it. So we were a threat to those guys.
The task of beating the best didn't scare Mark Martin.
Mark Martin is all over Dale Earnhardt.
He welcomed the challenge of taking on NASCAR's toughest customer.
Dale Earnhardt was a very complex person. He was ruthless on the racetrack. I often said that he'd throw his mother in the river to win a race, but after the race was over, he'd go back and pull her out, you know, and get her out. So I respected him, but I raced hard, and I raced firm, and I raced fair, and I think that made a fan out of Dale Earnhardt.
We wasn't always worried about cutting each other, or, you know, it was a good competitive race. We were more racing each other to beat each other instead of trying to get something on the other one.
And when it all comes down to it, Dale Earnhardt would beat you with a slower car, and that would really piss you off. But we won our battles.
Mark Martin through the tri-oval. Mark Martin wins the Champion Spark Plug 400.
I tell you what, Mark, it was a good day for all of us. Man, y'all are the best. You put me in a race car that couldn't be beat today. No way.
Jack Roush and his resilient gang of racers were not wilting. They held the points lead with only 10 races remaining. The underdogs were beating the Intimidator.
Mark does have a little bit of breathing room now.
Well, he does, but I'm not going to let him breathe much.
It was pretty cool for me, a little guy from Arkansas, to be holding his own against Dale Earnhardt in the Winston Cup series, you know, when not so long ago I'd been racing the dirt tracks in Arkansas. But I certainly wasn't intimidated by the challenge of beating him.
I don't think he himself intimidated us. You know, we knew all of those guys over on the Childress team. You know, you parked next to each other every week because you were so close in points, and it was a good rivalry.
I tell you what, they both know they're in for a contest. Earnhardt knows the championship is not going to be a cakewalk. Mark Martin, Jack Roush, his crew, they know that Earnhardt is there, and if they just sneeze, they're going to lose.
The one race that I remember, and there were a couple of incidents as we got out through the season. I remember being at North Wilkesboro in the fall, and that's where Mark really kind of took a stand on Dale Earnhardt.
I remember, just like it was yesterday, we made a pit stop, pulled a rubber out of the right front, restarted toward the back or the lead lap cars.
He chased him down from 20 car lengths back, closing laps, inside of 40, I think, inside of 30, chased him down, chased him down, chased him down. And people are getting ready. Because, you know, you go up and get ready to take that spot from the Intimidator, and he's leading. I mean, something's going to give.
Mark Martin is just all over Earnhardt. Now, once again, he takes a look to the inside. Oh, I thought they were going to touch. Martin fighting back. Can't take the lead from Dale. Wow.
Finally, he turned that car off of turn 2, got up underneath him, and just drove it in there.
Just rubbed his door a little bit with the right front tire. Out the corner of my eye, I saw the fans just going crazy.
Mark Martin has gone to the lead, and he gets a friendly bump in the rear part of the car from Dale Earnhardt.
Little Mark, 125 pounds, sitting in this Folgers car. He took a stand that day to say, hey, Earnhardt, you are who you are, but I'm here too.
Mark Martin maintains his points lead in Winston Cup competition. position, winning this race here today.
Big win for us because it was toward the end of the season, and it just gave us a lot of momentum.
That was a great win. It was one of those challenging races that you felt like you went in there and stole something from somebody. Being that it was Earnhardt, it felt pretty good.
You know, we take second. We come out even in the points, I think, by leading the most laps. So Mark did a good job. We'll give it to him this week. We'll go to the next battle at Charlotte next week.
We felt like that was the stamp on the season, to beat that guy at that racetrack where he was so good. We felt like right there was the seal of approval that this was a good race team and we might just win this darn championship.